You know, Mark, let me ask you about this, though, because Donald Trump coming out and saying it's a political decision and we will see them in court. What does he mean for Donald Trump to say George W. Bush appointees? He may view those as completely politically against him as well, right? I mean, from his point of view.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's certainly predictable as well that we would expect Donald Trump to come out and say something like that and to continue on fighting. You know, it's also the reaction we're seeing from those who are against the ban and those for the ban is very predictable. But there's two statements that I think are noteworthy to mention here. One is from Tom Cotton. He's the Arkansas senator. In fact, he was under consideration at one point to be defense secretary. He described the Ninth Circuit as the most notoriously left-wing court in America and the most reversed court at the Supreme Court, and I'm confident the administration's position will ultimately prevail. So we're already seeing now some of Donald Trump's allies come out in to add on to the politicization, even though it was a 3-0 ruling. But this isn't just a Democrat versus Republican fight. We had the National Restaurant Association immediately come out with a statement where they said they hope that Donald Trump and the administration, when they're going forward, takes into account the economy and takes into account how important that this could hurt small business if they continue going down a similar path. So this is as easy. It's not as black and white as we can talk about it here on TV. There's a lot of gray areas in it.
Right. And Kayleigh, you know, it does beg the question here of, will Donald Trump stop attacking judges? Look, tonight all he said on Twitter is, I'll see you in court. He did, though, say, we just heard his audio, it's a political decision. This comes on top of tweets about Judge Robart, who is now, of course, going to be, originally did the ruling here as this continues in district court on the constitutionality, where Trump said, just cannot believe a judge would put our country in such peril. If something happens, blame him. And in the opinion of this so-called judge. And now here he is again tonight saying it's a political decision. Do you think he understands that that kind of talk might have really just backfired on him, and that's why partially this could have been 3-0?
Well, I think he realizes and hopes, as we all do, that judges would rule based on the law, not based on the fact that they were criticized by a co-equal branch of government, that is to say, the president. But, you know, I do have to say, I think it's a very smart point by Professor Dershowitz. If you look at this ruling, they basically ruled on two things. They looked at due process rights,